evening, everyone, and welcome back to Bison Information Network. I'm Anna Dragseth, and this is Malik Mitchell. We're glad that you're with us.
Tonight, we have some local NDSU stories, a sports update, a look at weekly weather, and a feel-good story. Stay with us. Have you walked by the art gallery in the Memorial Union lately? If so, you've probably seen all the interesting art pieces on display. Anna Dragseth talked with Anthony Ferris, the gallery coordinator and curator of collections, on just what the Memorial Union Gallery is all about.
The gallery has basically two exhibition spaces, and then in the back we have a vault which has a collection of over 1,000 contemporary art pieces. That includes like Andy Warhol and Salvador Dali, Judy Chicago. And what we do here is we put up student research and professional artist research, their work. And then we also promote our collection for research as well. And then we try to do activities that link people with the story of the artwork. So if it's a story about social justice, then it's a contemporary issue. What sort of conversations can we begin about it? Can we have people write about it and share their writing? And that connection is really necessary for art. It's not just by itself. So art can be difficult to approach because the art market and the art world has seemed sort of unapproachable. And so what I think is really important is that this is a space for ideas. And a lot of the ideas are things that all of us are dealing with. Right now we have an exhibition that deals with loneliness through COVID, going and sitting around reflecting because of the pandemic and needing like a space to reflect, questions of how we connect. There's stories of pollution. And so all of these stories are things that all of us can relate to, but the artwork itself, because it's an object, can seem very difficult to engage with. Our goals change depending on the students that are working here. So each semester we have about 8 students that are working here, and the exhibitions are pretty much set up. But their goals and what things that they want to learn sort of shape who we are. So sometimes it's very active with programming, sometimes it's sort of focused on the collection, just depending on what the students are interested in. Each student has a specific role where they will update PR and sort of shape our identity. But I think that's what's necessary for a student union, is to be fluid and to make sure that we keep our core values, but we can change over the course of time depending on what our student needs are.
For more information on the Memorial Union Gallery, be sure to check out their mobile website at ndsu.edu/mu/gallery. They also have an app that can be accessed via cell phone. This app showcases all their art displayed in the gallery, along with information to help viewers better understand the pieces themselves.
NDSU's COVID vaccination clinics are a hot topic on campus. Our reporter Holly Murphy interviewed our student body president, Matthew Friedman, and got more information.
I'm joined here today with Matthew Friedman, who is NDSU's student body president. I'm going to ask him a few questions about his involvement with NDSU's launch of vaccination clinics available to students. So what role did you have in the COVID vaccination clinics?
Sure. So I'll start by saying all of the credit really goes to the university relations team and our health professions, a lot of the students and the faculty and administration in our College of Health Professions, they have a really great partnership with Sanford, and they were able to offer this. So I helped out with kind of trying to get the word out and really bring that student voice to this process about how do we engage students, but I can't take any credit for the event happening. This really was something that came from a lot of work from administrators and again, our health professions. And, they deserve a lot of credit because if you look around nationally, there isn't many schools doing this, right? We were really on the forefront of being able to offer this event. And it was really, they deserve a lot of credit.
That's awesome. Do you have a percentage of, especially trying to get out to students, which you've done a great job so far? It seems like the word's really getting out. Is there a certain percentage of students that you anticipate to want to get that vaccine or like a goal that you're looking for?
Sure. So I certainly think a good goal is everybody that wants one, right? Some of the nursing students had done a survey of students and about kind of do they want to get the vaccine? What are their feelings about getting the vaccine? About a third of them said, yes, I want to get the vaccine. About a third of them said, I haven't really made up my mind. I'm still kind of thinking about it. And there was about a third of them that said, no, I'm not interested in the vaccine. And so what we're really focused on, and we've been focused on, is how do we get kind of that middle third that we say has vaccine hesitancy, right? How do we get them interested in getting the vaccine? So that would be sort of the breakdown when we surveyed the students about, who's interested in getting vaccinated. But certainly, I would encourage everybody to get vaccinated. I've been vaccinated, and it's really how we get back to normal, right? We want to get back to normal. You just go get a shot, and we can start heading in that direction.
Awesome. Yeah. And that's going to lead into my next question. What's your plan for people that are kind of on the fence? What is like your way for you guys to think to get the ones on the fence or even some that aren't interested to try to change their mind and get them on board?
Sure. Well, I think that really just it comes down to education, right? Because I think there can be some misinformation about vaccines, right? And also I understand being a little skeptical. Sometimes people they feel a little sick afterwards, right? Your arm is sore, right? You have a bit of an immune response. So there are certainly reasons. And there are also students who don't, right, who are actually allergic to the vaccine and are not eligible. But we're really focused, like I said, on those students who have displayed vaccine hesitancy. And so we're looking at how can we incentivize them through, prizes and gift cards, but also really at the core of it is education. Because I think if we paint that picture of, look, if you get vaccinated, this is what you do. The result is when we come back to school in the fall, we're back to in person. We have sports, we have events. We're finally getting back to normal, right? This is our way to get back to normal. So it's getting that message across.
That's awesome. It looks like you guys are doing a really good job. There seems to be a lot of demand for first and second. There's going to be 2 vaccination events that I know of, and they're almost at capacity already. Are you guys looking to add a 3rd testing event, or is that like a goal you have? Or
Yeah, so that's a good question. And I don't decide if we have another vaccination event. I certainly, as you described, our first 2 vaccination events has filled up. And so I think that means there's demand for more. But it really comes down to what's the availability and that partnership with Sanford, right? So what are we able to work with those external entities to be able to put those on? But yeah, I certainly am advocating, and it's clear there is a want from the students. And so hopefully we can provide that.
that's awesome. So I know that you've been working really closely and you take credit for just like getting the word out. But how are you guys able to make this happen for everybody at this school?
Yeah, so this really what it is it was a partnership between our health professions. So that's right, our pre-med, our nursing, pharmacy, those students. And actually, for those of you who got to attend the event, a lot of those were the students administering the shots. And so it's this partnership that we have with Sanford. So Sanford was able to get us the vaccines. They had them, and we said, we have a space here on campus. We have students who wanted to donate their time. I was told that when they sent out the sign up for students to sign up to actually administer the vaccine, that it signed up instantly. That students were really excited to do this, and so it's through partnerships with Sanford and really the excitement of our health professions fields that we were able to do this.
Awesome. Well, it's really cool seeing that everyone was able to work together to make this possible for our university. I know a lot of people are really grateful for this opportunity. And also, thank you so much for your time. I think that's all I have for you today. And hopefully This will be able to get the word across to more people that are kind of on the fence to get vaccinated and get back in the classroom.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Holly. It looks like Matthew's doing a great job getting the word out to students to help get college back to normal. Don't go away. When we come back, we will have an update on NDSU sports.
Founded in 1985, the Missouri Valley Football Conference has established a tradition of FCS football excellence. Competing at the highest level of NCAA Division I, student athletes at its 10 institutions demonstrate character, passion, and integrity as they grow as a student, an athlete, and a citizen. The Missouri Valley Football Conference, where leaders are shaped and champions are forged.
No kid deserves to go hungry, but try as they might, not every family can afford to put food on the table every day. That's why the Great Plains Food Bank and their partner agencies work every day to bring food to our hungry neighbors. Every dollar donated can provide 4 meals for those in need. Go to greatplainsfoodbank.org and donate today so no kid in North Dakota ever has to go hungry.
Bison football has one last home game of the season. Alex Dusky has more on Dakota Marker Week now.
Bison football is coming off of a close win last weekend. The team defeated the UNI Panthers 23-20. NDSU had 2 unexpected bye weeks due to COVID-19 protocols, but we're glad to be back out on the field. They didn't let the bye weeks get the best of them as they came out on top against the number 24th team in the country.
A good football team. We knew that. You just look at their, I know for a fact, having conversation with Coach Farley before the game and after the game, I had an opportunity to catch up with him. You know, a football team that was beating South Dakota State with 3 minutes left, a team that missed a field goal to beat Southern Illinois on the road. They were no slouches.
Although the Bison did come out with a win, there are a couple of things that can still be improved on. In total, the defense had 60 tackles and 3 sacks for a loss of 21 yards. Hunter Lupke, who had a great game against UND, didn't perform as well, only getting 95 rushing yards. Quarterback Zeb Nolan threw for 154 yards and 1 touchdown. The Bison were able to make it to the red zone several times throughout the game, but just couldn't get points on the board.
We just need to do a better job as a team finishing people. There was a time, it was 24-12 at one time. We need to finish. We need to close it out. We need to play a little better on defense. We need to execute better.
As the COVID-19 vaccine has become more readily available to college students and staff across the country, the question of, do we require athletes to get vaccinated, has come up. Coach Entz said he does not have an opinion on whether or not that should be a requirement yet, but he does strongly encourage his players to consider it.
30%, probably 75% of our staff, support staff, probably a fair number, probably in between those two numbers, trying to encourage our guys. I'm sure that's where this question was going down. You know, with it being said, easy to encourage. When do you fit it in during the course of the week?
The team meets conference rival SDSU this weekend after their game 2 weeks ago being postponed. The Jackrabbits have not played a game since March 20th, which they won 44-3 due to COVID cancellations. NDSU and SDSU have a long-standing rivalry. This being the last game of the regular season, and with the Jackrabbits having such a long time to prepare, creates an interesting game day dynamic.
I know this. I know, South Dakota State. They've had a month to prepare for us. They're going to have everything ready to go, and they do a tremendous job. They always are prepared, and you give them a month, it's going to be a challenge for us.
Kickoff is this Saturday at 2:30 in the Fargo Dome. Like I said, it's the last game of the regular season for the Bison, so be sure to show up and support the team. If you can't make it in person, NBC, ND, and ESPN Plus will be covering the game. Make sure to tune in back here next week to see how the team did and for a post-season preview. For the Bison Information Network, I'm Alex Dusky.
The soccer team finished their regular season at home last weekend. The Bison took on the ORU Golden Eagles. The first game went into double overtime and ended with a draw. The second game ended to a 3-1 Bison win. The team ends their regular season with a 7-8-1 record. Both golf teams competed in Elkhorn, Nebraska at the Stampede earlier this week. The women's team finished the meet 6th overall while the men took the home win. Both teams next will meet in Kansas at the Summit League tournament. The women start their title run April 24th and the men will start May 1st. The track and field teams are coming off a great weekend at the Tennessee Rallies. The women won first place in the sprint medley while the men won both the sprint and distance medleys. The women's team is now ranked 16th in the nation. Yesterday was signing day for NDSU basketball. The men's team picked up 2 new players, Andrew Kalman, a transfer from Northern State University, and Willie Guy, a transfer from Des Moines Area Community College. The women signed high school senior Gabby Ford from Otonio to join the 4 other in her recruiting class. Baseball and softball came home the first time this weekend. I will break down each team's successful weekends. NDSU's baseball and softball teams came home last weekend for the first home series in 7 weeks. Both teams had a great overall performance and put on a good show at home. Both teams are in the top 3 rankings in the Summer League Conference. The baseball team had a great weekend sweeping Western Illinois. The Bison won 2-0 on Friday to start the weekend off strong. On Saturday, they won 10-7 and later that day won 6-3. Their last game on Sunday, which had a lot of excitement towards the end, the Bison were down 4-0 in the 4th. The Bison then rallied back and Charlie Hesse got the tying run to send the team into extra innings in the 9th. Callan Schwab hit a walk-off single to give the Bison 6-5 victory in the 14th inning and the 4-game sweep. The softball team also had a great first weekend home. They won 3 out of the 4 games against USD. The first pitch of the weekend was at noon on Saturday. The Bison won that match 6-5. The teams then had a 30-minute break before playing again, which the Bison won 3-0. Sophomore pitcher Laney Lyle had a no-hitter that game. On Sunday, the Bison won the first game 3-1, and later that day lost 5-6 to the Coyotes. Both teams had a solid weekend, but have a challenging week ahead of them. The baseball team plays number 2 in the Summit League, Oral Roberts, at home. The softball teams play Iowa State, who is 6th in the Big 12 Conference. Be sure to show up and encourage your teams to have another winning weekend. For the Bison Information Network, I'm Malik Mitchell. That's all for sports. If you want to hear more details about all your NDSU sports, be sure to tune in to Bison Overtime Fridays at 12:30. When we come back, Alex Dusky will give you a quick weather update.
There are so many great things to experience at NDSU. It's hard to pick one, but my favorite is
the people. They make it such a warm place. The Bison aren't just across the country, they're across the globe.
It's the perfect distance from home. The faculty are our biggest cheerleaders. Hands-on research experience. The affordable tuition.
All the opportunities to stay active on campus.
Real-world learning experiences.
Once I got on campus, it felt like home.
The NDSU bookstore has everything you need to show off your Bison pride. The bookstore can have you sporting green and gold wherever you go. It offers many different brands, sizes, styles, and selection so that you find exactly what you're looking for. Shop the NDSU bookstore and show your spirit today.
deserves to go hungry. But try as they might, not every family can afford to put food on the table every day. That's why the Great Plains Food Bank and their partner agencies work every day to bring food to our hungry neighbors. Every dollar donated can provide 4 meals for those in need. Go to greatplainsfoodbank.org and donate today so no kid in North Dakota ever has to go hungry.
There are so many great things to experience at NDSU. It's hard to pick one, but my favorite is
The people, they make it such a warm place. The Bison aren't just across the country, they're across the globe.
It's the perfect distance from home. The faculty are our biggest cheerleaders. Hands-on research experience. The affordable tuition.
All the opportunities to stay active on campus.
Real-world learning experiences.
Once I got on campus, it felt like home.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Alex Tusky. Let's take a look at this week's upcoming weather. Although all the snow should be gone, it still won't feel too spring-like this week. Tomorrow, the high is 47 with a low of 27 and cloudy all day. Saturday, we will see a bit of sun with a high of 53, but the low still dropping down to 32. Sunday, it will stay warm and mid-50s during the day, but it will be rainy and mid-20 by nightfall. Monday, it stays chilly with the high only 37 and a low of 23. Tuesday, it warms up a touch, the high is 43 and the low is 25. Wednesday and Thursday starts to warm up a little bit more. Wednesday, it will be 48 and Thursday, it will be 57. Expect to see clouds all week. Looking ahead, it appears that this might be our last round of cold weather before it's sunny in springtime here in Fargo. That's all I have for weather, but don't go away. After the break, Coy Hartle has a feel-good story for you all.
Founded in 1985, the Missouri Valley Football Conference has established a tradition of FCS football excellence. Competing at the highest level of NCAA Division I, student athletes at its 10 institutions demonstrate character, passion, and integrity as they grow as a student, an athlete, and a citizen. The Missouri Valley Football Conference, where leaders are shaped and champions are forged.
No kid deserves to go hungry. But try as they might, not every family can afford to put food on the table every day. That's why the Great Plains Food Bank and their partner agencies work every day to bring food to our hungry neighbors. Every dollar donated can provide 4 meals for those in need. Go to greatplainsfoodbank.org and donate today so no kid in North Dakota ever has to go hungry.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Coy Hartle. Samuel James is a janitor at Citronelle High School. He has been working at the Alabama school for the past 13 years. However, Samuel was recently forced to walk to work each day after the engine blew out on his car. While he was saving up money for a new vehicle, Deborah Pippin, an English teacher at the school, heard about his situation. It turns out that Deborah and her husband had just bought a new vehicle and they no longer needed their old car. They decided to give their 10-year-old Toyota Highlander to Samuel completely free of charge, which moved him to tears. Deborah said that she couldn't think of anyone who deserved it more than Samuel, and that it will be special to see him with the car. Thank you for tuning in to our show today. For more on NDSU sports, check out Bison Overtime tomorrow at 12:30, and come back here each Thursday for more news. I'm Coy Hartle for the Bison Information Network. Have a great week.